Welcome to the Long Drive Championship Finals for the 2009 Continents Cup. Hello, my name is Pat Dempsey and I will be your host today. This is an exciting moment for PGA golf and world-class long drive. For the first time, these two venues have joined together to entertain the 100,000 in attendance here at the KLM Open, hosted by the Kennemer Golf and Country Club in beautiful sunny Holland.
While the players are getting ready, the fans are filling the stands for the 2009 JLG Continents Cup. Everyone is getting an early look at these golf gladiators as they get heated up and discuss their strategies. And just moments before the storm, the two teams pay each other a little respect.
What is long drive and what is the Continents Cup? Long drive, let me say this. These power hitters drive the golf ball past 440 yards, equivalent to 400 meters. You will see Scott Smith, who holds the world record with a drive of 539 yards, or 493 meters. Now, what is the Continents Cup? It is the pride, it is the teamship, it is the holy grail of the sport. These guys are playing for their countries and flag, which is way more important than money. The two teams that will be battling it out today are two powerhouses in the world of long drive. On one side, the best from the United States, and on the other, the best of Europe.
The first two teams on the stage today for Europe, 26-year-old Adam Stacey and his partner Joe Miller. And from the United States, Carl Walter teamed with Brooks Baldwin. Adam Stacey's longest ball of his set, 320 meters, and Carl Walter's 344. Baldwin steps up, drives his second ball to the 340-meter mark. And while the European champ Joe Miller lands one in the grid, wasn't long enough to match Baldwin's 349-meter mark. Longest drive in the first two-man set for Europe, 336 meters. And for Team USA, their longest ball, 349 meters. USA takes first match and is on the board for 1 point. The second team for USA will be world champion David Mobley and world record holder Scott Smith. They will challenge Holland's best, Steph Gressel, and Sweden's young and upcoming star, Peter Karlberg. On David's fourth and best ball of the set, makes his presence known. And then Gressel comes to life, gives his team something to cheer about on his sixth and final ball. Hits it long, but comes up short to David Mobley's 357-meter drive. Scott Smith ending his round at 357 meters, while Peter Karlberg ending his round at 343 meters. Second match goes to Team USA, 357 meters to 343 meters. At this point, USA is up by 2. The next pairing for Team Europe is Mikko Perenin and Ante Saleva. For the U.S., Alan McDougall and Vince Howell. Vince Howell knows he has his hands full with Ante Saleva. The 2009 ELD champion, the man stands over 2 and 8 meters tall. Europe needs to get something going and stop the momentum of the U.S. team. Howell started his set off with what looked like a great drive, but missed the grid. Then Saleva connected and the crowd went crazy. It seemed as though Europe was on the board. But Howell wouldn't have it. He wills his next drive just 1 meter past Saleva to capture the match at 357 meters and adds to the lead. U.S. is now up by 3. This next match will complete round 1. Although it is still early, the European team has yet to get a point. They are sending Andreas Pearson and 21-year-old Rasmus Joheden to the stage. They will be going against the big left-hander Danny Lorette and the Sheriff J.D. Murkison. An engineer by trade, Andreas Pearson comes through like an angel from heaven and pipes his second drive 365 meters, which was up to now the longest ball hit in the competition. Danny Lorette, normally one of the world's most consistent long drivers, could not rise to the challenge and hits all 6 balls out of bounds. What a job by Andreas Pearson, leaving his partner Rasmus Joheden some breathing room with a score of 365 meters to 0. The second format of today's contest is combined scores. This is the same two-man team concept, except they will add their longest drives for their combined score. In this round, the pressure is more on a player to make sure he hits a ball safely in the grid. Alan McDougall and Steph Gressel battled it out in the first match of round 2. Then on ball 5, McDougall catches his best shot to total 355 meters. Dealing with the nerving position, Gressel scores a touchdown on ball 6 and edges McDougall with a drive of 356 meters. Vince Howell rocked the house with his first drive. Hits a short but valuable drive to the 333-meter mark, giving Peter Karlborg a great opportunity to win the match, but Peter failed to get the ball in play. 4-1 USA. Adam Stacey pumps himself up with a blood-curdling scream, pulls the trigger and drives his ball far down the grid. David Mobley then returns the favor by hitting it past Adams' mark and is very happy, as you can see, with the results. Adam Stacey on his last ball tightens his belt and rocks one, and yes, along with another yell, to the 365-meter mark, tying the longest ball of today and beating David Mobley's score by 9 meters. Adam Stacey giving his partner Joe Miller a 9-meter advantage. Scott Smith will need a huge drive just to break even. And in Scott Smith's set, hit a drive that looked very promising at 358 meters until Joe Miller went absolutely crazy. Drove one almost a quarter of a mile, 386 meters, or in my book, 422 yards. Oh my, 386 meters, which naturally gave the match to the European team with a score of 751 to 714. With this match victory, the European team is only down by 2. The score now is USA 4, Europe 2, and being halfway through the contest, it's still anybody's game. And in match 3, Carl Walters and Andreas Pearson. Pearson goes first, and with that very clutch shot in the first round, giving Team Europe a point, is riding high with a sense of confidence, but perhaps pressing too hard and comes up empty, having hit all of his balls out of bounds. Carl Walter feeling the need to hit a big ball, struggles through his set, but does manage to get a ball in at 331 meters. With Pearson not having to score, Rasmus Johedin's job is to better a 331-meter shot and hope Baldwin misses the grid. This young man, Rasmus Johedin, just 2 months ago was involved in an accident where he fell 9 meters, resulting in breaking his back in 2 places, and within 6 weeks returned to long drive and earned a spot on this European team. That is truly amazing, and for this I will nickname him the Bionic Man. Rasmus Johedin puts up a great score at 352 meters, but the key here was, could Baldwin get a ball in play? Not only does he do that, he outdrives Johedin with a shot of 359 meters. Match number 3 goes to Team USA, making the score 5-2. In this last match of round 2, Mikko Perenin and Danny Lorette face off for a must-win situation for the Europeans.
Okay, guys, you're good to go.
Mikko Perenin does his job to get a ball safely in the grid early in his set at 326 meters, but can't better the distance, while Lorette, still dealing with his loss of accuracy, suffers another round of not placing a ball in the grid. Mikko Perenin's ball, not extremely long, but worth its weight in gold, almost assures Europe a point if his partner, Ante Saleva, can deliver a ball in play. J.D. Murkison and Ante Saleva to finish off the end of round 2. J.D. connects on his first ball, pounding his drive 353 meters. But he still knows Ante is in the driver's seat. All Saleva needs to do is get one ball in the grid, which he does, and erupts in celebration. JD knows the match is over, but hits his last ball anyway, knowing that in just moments the most critical format of the Continents Cup will begin. To put this contest in perspective, we have completed the second of 3 total rounds. Although we are 2/3 of the way through, based on the point structure, there has only been 8 points given out. And with the singles matches coming up and 1 point given out for each match, 8 in total, you can see where this cup is yet claimed and will be decided in the next round.
After 2 rounds, the European team is only 2 points behind with the singles match play coming up next. This is where the pressure builds and the Continents Cup will be decided. I promise you won't want to miss this.
The last round will prove to be the blood and guts of today's competition. With so many points available and so much at stake, each player will undoubtedly carry more weight on their shoulders than ever before. Having been in this position many times as a player, I can tell you, even though it's still a game, it feels like life or death. The thrill of competition is always great, but when you're playing for your country, or better yet, continent, I'm not sure there's a word to describe this. And now it's time for the third and final round. Who will capture the 2009 JLG Continents Cup? First up for the European team, from London, England, and at one time ranked third in the world, Adam Stacey. And for Team USA, 2004 World Long Drive champion, David Mobley. This for sure will be the most important 6 balls these two guys will hit in a long time. Adam Stacey gives his best effort but can't find the grid and has to turn and watch in disappointment. And now on David Mobley's 5th ball, wins the lottery with a 386-meter drive to tie Joe Miller's drive earlier in the day. The 44-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, posts a 1-point victory in grand fashion. The American lead now goes to 3. With 7 matches left, Captain Phil Naylor will need to rally his team and get them back on track. Next up, Scott Smith and Joe Miller. Joe Miller wastes no time and blisters a drive of 368 meters. While Scott Smith can't seem to find the drive that he wants. On Joe's 6th ball, the crowd is asking to see a 400-meter shot. Joe tries, but pulls it so far left that it almost reaches one of the fairways of the KLM Open. Nevertheless, Miller delivers a much-needed point to Team Europe and gets them back to within 2 points. 2002 world champion Carl Walter and Holland's record holder Stef Gressel is next to pair off. Stef Gressel on ball 4 finds a shot to his liking, but takes a bad bounce and much to his disbelief rolls out of bounds, while Carl Walters works the same left side of the grid, gets his drive to stay in at 359 meters. And momentum shifts back to Team USA. The score now is 7-4. As Team Europe gathers their thoughts, they send 2009 ELD champion Ante Saleva to stop Big Brooks Baldwin and the U.S. team from running away with the cup. This 24-year-old from Finland has only 2 years of experience in the world of long drive, but he's proven he has what it takes to challenge the world-class power of Brooks Baldwin. Saleva's early drive of 352 meters brings some optimism to Team Europe. Until Big Country Baldwin flies one by him and eventually comes to rest at the 380-meter mark. Another disappointing defeat for the European team. This will take the contest to 8-4 and guarantees the U.S. at least a tie in this year's Continents Cup. Vince Howell will be looking to close the Europeans out and claim victory. Andreas Pearson's job will be to stop him and work towards keeping their hopes alive. Andreas Pearson, quiet by nature but a loud present for the Euro team, and has come through in the clutch as he does here to keep the dream alive. As for Vince Howell, has his hands full trying to overcome Pearson's 365-meter drive, but fails to get it done. Pearson brings the team back to a respectable 3-point difference. With 3 matches left and 3 to go, the best the European team can hope for is an overall tie. So everything rests on the young shoulders of Peter Karlborg to keep this dream alive. On the board first was Peter Karlborg, but it didn't take long before J.D. Murkison passed his mark. And then Karlborg crushes a drive of 371 meters and watches as it comes to rest. J.D. Murkison could not rise to the challenge, and Karlborg wins the point. For the first time, the Europeans have won 2 in a row, making the score 8-6. With 2 matches left, Team USA sends Danny Lorette to take on the Bionic Man Rasmus Joheden. As Lorette's problem to hit the grid continues, the young 21-year-old Joheden lets it fly and finally gets one to roll out to a distance of 376 meters. With the sun still in his eyes, he is not sure of the distance, so holds off on his reaction of this great victory. What an outstanding comeback from Team Europe, only down by 1 with 1 left to play. Winning 3 matches in a row, they have given themselves a chance for a tie. And for Team USA, if they want the cup, they have to win the next match. As Alan and Mikko ready themselves on the stage, my good friend and opponent, Captain Phil Naylor, exchanged gestures of appreciation and respect for where we were at this moment. For some of us, these are the moments we live for. I can't think of a more perfect scenario for a contest like this, to have to come right down to the last match and perhaps the last ball to determine a winner. Alan McDougall on his first ball blasted it right down the middle, and from his reaction tells the whole story. Mikko Perinen, showing great composure, collects himself and goes to work. Swing after swing, the nerves build and the set turns to frustration. For Alan, it's a perfect situation with having a drive of 361 meters to open the throttle in hopes of a bigger ball. For Mikko, his problem is finding the grid. With Alan McDougall having hit his last ball, Mikko's 6th and final ball sits on the tee. Pulls the trigger. And rockets one down the right side of the grid. As the ball flew, we all knew it had a chance to go the distance, but would it stay in play? Alan McDougall had sealed the deal, and Team USA wins the 2009 JLG Continents Cup. But even for me, the captain of the U.S. team, a part of me was so proud of Team Europe. Final score, USA 9, Europe 7. With Team Europe coming into this match as a younger and less experienced team, still should walk away with a high level of confidence and excitement. And as for a happy USA team, they will need to prepare to defend their title even harder to remain champions of the Cup.